It doesn't really do anything.
No, it does. It's not an effect, but it makes you sound better, supposedly. It's an input buffer. No idea.
Not on my board.
So I watch a lot of guitar YouTube channels, and there's a few sort of up-and-coming channels that I really, really like, specifically Cyber Attack, Working Class Music, and Emily Hopkins, although I have to say, at this point, Emily's pretty well established. I don't think it's fair to call her an up-and-comer. Hopefully it's not rude to say up-and-coming channel. Anyways. And she's also not even a guitar channel. She's actually a harp channel, so I don't know that that even really applies either. Point is, I like watching her videos, and I was recently influenced by her content to buy a pedal, which is this, the 29 Pedals EUNA. Now, if you haven't seen this pedal, there's dozens of demos online from great creators like Emily and Demos in the Dark and plenty of other YouTube channels. I have some of my favorite ones linked down below for you to check out. This is not going to be a demo video. Basically just talk about what this pedal does, who it's for, and why you might want to put something like this on your board. Also, before we jump into the video, a quick plug for my new video course, Fretboard Fundamentals, Chords, and Rhythm. It's a comprehensive video course to help you break out of ruts in your playing and unlock the fretboard, help you learn new chord voicings and decipher chord voicings and play in any key, anywhere on the neck, as well as some fundamental techniques to great rhythm guitar playing. If you want more information about it, you can find it linked down below. All right, short cable. And that's the long one. All right, so you know about signal loss with cables, right? Long cable, short cables.
Yeah, long cable bad, short cable good. Always.
Okay. So basically, without getting into too much detail, when your guitar signal leaves the pickup, right, it goes out of your output jack, travels through your cable, goes through your pedal board, then goes through another cable, then goes to your amplifier. There's some signal loss, there's signal degradation, basically. The cable has resistance, it has capacitance in it, and the longer your cable run, the more pedals you have on your board, it can cause kind of a lot of signal loss. So a pedal like this, the EUNA, or like this Empress Buffer 2 here, basically what it's doing is it's correcting for that signal loss. It's basically driving your guitar signal through long cable runs to maintain as much top end as possible. The EUNA has a few interesting features though with these switches where you've got like a high-end air boost, right? So that's like adding some upper order harmonics there. You've got a bright switch as well, which is another sort of part of the high-end frequency spectrum. You got a low-end boost right here, and then it's also got a send and return of a loop right here for pedals like germanium fuzzes, which typically don't like to see buffers in front of them. You put a buffer in front of a germanium fuzz, a lot of times it can cause the fuzz to just crap out and sound terrible. So this, you can put the fuzz in line with the EUNA and kind of avoid that issue. So let's put this on the board and see if it makes a difference. All right, now I'm even gonna add to this debacle by running a long patch cable here. So we're even gonna add like, what is that, 5 feet cable to here? All right, so this is a pretty small little pedal board, right? And these are all just analog pedals. They're all true bypass, which means when the pedals bypass, it sends the signal directly through the pedal with no added electronics or anything. It's just basically like a little, you can think of it almost like a little patch cable inside the pedal. So right now, the guitar is going into the EUNA right here, and then we're going out of the EUNA into the fuzz, into the Mjolnir overdrive, into the chorus, the jam chorus, and into the megabyte delay. And we're going out of the delay into the Morgan. Well, no, actually we're not doing that yet. Now we're going out of the delay into the Morgan. All right, so this is no EUNA, so just pedal board by itself. All right, so with none of the switches on the EUNA, like, can you hear a difference in the room?
It's really subtle. I was having a hard time hearing it if I wasn't looking at you switching the pedal.
Right. Well, you can barely hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think what's cool about this, and the reason I bought this one, is because of these switches here. So check this out. So right now it's off. I think this is one of those pieces of gear that is more for us than it is for the audience, right? That's how I would classify any input buffer. Why would you buy a pedal that you can barely hear? Why would you buy a piece of gear that you can barely hear? Well, for me, when I have that top end, when I have that articulation back, it sort of shifts how I'm hearing the guitar. It shifts how the guitar is feeling when I'm listening to it back. I can hear myself better in the context of a mix, in the context of a band on stage, having that top end. I feel that I'm cutting through a little bit better, which means that, you know, I might not play as hard. I might not dig in as hard on my right hand. I might not feel like I have to hit the guitar as hard. I can back off a little bit and let the guitar and the amp do a little bit more work together. With an overdrive, so this is no EUNA. To me, the real difference is how it feels in my hands, like how the guitar is responding underneath my hands. I like the clarity, I like the attack. You can hear more of the pick attack, you can hear more of the string, it's more articulate. And this is just standing in the room hearing through some studio monitors. This is not with a cabinet in the room either. So it's kind of like you put on your board, it's an always on thing, and you kind of forget that it's there.
Okay, one question.
Yeah.
You have a question. Why not just use an EQ pedal?
It's a good question. A lot of people do. You totally can use an EQ. The other thing about a buffer is it's not just EQing your signal. It's actually driving the signal. It's changing the impedance of the signal so that it can travel down a longer cable run. But essentially it works differently than an EQ. A lot of people will run both. They'll run a buffer and an EQ, or like what I have on this board, the board that Mason from Vertex built for me, there's actually an input buffer going in and then there's an output buffer going out. In 29, they have another pedal called a WAMP that's designed to go at the end of your signal chain. So you have the EUNA on the way in and the WAMP on the way out that's sort of doing a similar thing. It's keeping your signal intact and shaped in a really nice way. So the EUNA, who is this for? I think ideally this is for someone who's got a medium to large pedal board and you're not using something like a loop switcher, something with input and output buffers. I think that's a perfect use case for this. But I think just about any buffer would work well in this situation. I like the Empress Buffer Plus. This is another really cool utility pedal that has some interesting features. It's different than the EUNA, but it accomplishes a similar result. Or the JHS Little Buffer. Super simple to use. You can put it underneath your pedal board and forget that it's there. But if you're the type of player that has a medium to large pedal board, even a small pedal board, it's beneficial to have some kind of buffer in your signal path. A lot of people advocate for input and output buffers. Some people just use input buffers. Some people who use a Boss pedal, for example, just use the built-in buffer like on your tuner, your TU3. For me though, actually at the moment, I don't have a lot of use for the EUNA because most of what I'm doing right now is studio style guitar playing. So I'm either plugging straight into an amplifier, or if I am using some effects, I'm using 1 or 2 pedals just kind of thrown on the floor, so I don't have super long cable runs to deal with. But I could see using it when live shows and touring start back up again for me later this year, getting a new touring board put together. I'll probably end up throwing the EUNA on that board because I do like the features. I like the air switch, the harmonic switch, the bright switch. It's pretty nice. The thing to remember here with a pedal like this, a utility pedal, is it's less for the audience. It's less for, you know, your overall sound or what people think of your sound. It's more for you. It's more for the way the guitar and your amp respond together. Getting back that brightness, getting back that punch that you can lose through long cable runs and through big, complicated pedal boards. Point is, nobody's gonna come up to you at the bar after a show and say, dude, what kind of buffer were you using? That was super cool, I loved the set. Maybe they will, actually, I don't know. That actually might be very possible. So I like the EUNA, it's cool. I'm glad I picked one up. And shout out to Emily Hopkins for influencing me to buy this pedal. I'll have links to her channel as well as my other favorite up and coming YouTube channels down below. I'll have links to the EUNA as well. Those will not be affiliate links, just links to the pedal if you want to buy one. I got mine off of Reverb. Don't forget to check out my new video course, Fretboard Fundamentals, Chords, and Rhythm, in the description box down below, as well as my other video courses, Inner Circle, my Helix presets, Kemper Profiles, all that stuff is linked down below. And I really appreciate the support you guys show me on this YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Rhett Shull, and remember, there is no plan B.